Hey, every bungle. Look at where you are. It's the infinite regression. Oh, yes, 'tis has been. Anyway, this is just going to be a little bit of something to let you know what's been going on and sort of where I'm going and where I'm at and how I'm feeling and how I be. Anyway, so if you care about this sort of thing, cool, stick around, hear things. If you don't, no hard feelings. But yeah, anyway, infinite regression. Oh, so infinite. Always has been. Anyway, Steam still exists, despite my attempts to have it not. Oh, look at what I totally got with my random games in my freaking random games pack. Stasis. I literally should have given this to someone else because it's a one of those games I don't like. Survival horror. Book of Demons looks interesting. You know, this one's like a yeah, dungeon crawler, isometric dungeon crawler, shades of um oh, what's that one? Sword of God. I can't remember what the name of that game is. Really fun. Sword of something. Uh I own it. Let's search this out. Of Sword and Succubus. That's clearly what I meant. No, no, that's not what I meant. Hey, hey, now we're having a good time. We're having a good time. Hey, uh, so back to things that I recently have acquired. Home, yes, home again, jiggity jig. Kingdom Wars, which I really need to learn to be better at reviewing RTSs because I like RTSs, but people hate me reviewing RTSs, and they have let me know because RTS people are, facts and figures, stats people. They are the accountants of gaming, and they don't mind letting you know about it. I just pissed off so many people. You're the accountants of gaming. Anyway, but I love RTSs. You're not wrong, accountants. You're just mean to me about how I review your stuff. Um. Anyway, and then this one, the Texturcist, the story of Ray Bibia. This is like typing of the dead, my dudes. It's literally like bullet hell typing of the dead. Um, yeah. Like, do you see that? That's a cool idea. I can't believe like someone made that, and then I got it in a random Steam game keys thing. Also, by the way, hold up. I should definitely pause for this next bit because it's going to involve putting in my Kingwin password, which you don't need to be a party to. Hold up. Okay, I'm going to show you a thing. Haha, I'm not contacting a merchant. K. Whoever's the first one to enter the key that I'm about to show gets to be the winner of the game. Oh, more giveaway. Yeah. Because I got a game, like, probably the best game key in this entire bundle is a game that I already have. A game that I love dearly and that I think is super much awesome that I haven't beaten yet, but I intend to. But it's super much fun, so cute, so awesome. And that game is not Book of Demons, The Adventure Pals. Ha 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 ha. So it's this code right here. You put that in, put that in. There you go. You get your own free copy of The Adventure Pals, and then enjoy that for the rest of your life because that's fun. Anyway, so part of where I've been, and I just wanted to show you things that I've gotten because, I have gotten some things. There are cool things coming up. And Oh, I finished Dungeon Siege. That's fun. Like I really enjoyed that. Um and I recently restarted I've been meaning to play my way through all the Final Fantasy games, and I um yeah, I started back up and I thought that I was on Final Fantasy 4, but I was not. But if you know your Final Fantasies, Final Fantasy 4 was released as Final Fantasy 2 in the United States. And I was like, oh, so I played it for like 2 hours because I like start grinding immediately, like before the story even starts. I'm that guy who's like, nope, I'm going to need this later, and I don't want to grind later when I don't want to do it anymore. I'll grind now when it's easier, when I have the interest to do it. Uh, I don't know. Who else plays your grindy RPGs like that? Like, just load up on the grinding in the beginning? Anyway, so, yeah. The thing is that, I, realized that I've already played it all the way through because then I remembered something near the end of the story. It was like, oh, that's right. I've already played this because I knew that I had restarted it more than once because I intended to play it and then couldn't for some reason. Like life interfered in some way, shape, or form. And, life interfering, that's the whole thing. That's, here, I'm just gonna scroll through this so you can, like, oh, the naughty games are in there. For the record, naughty games purchased by me, not so many. Naughty games purchased by Russians, hachi machi. So yeah. So there's like one series. Oh, the Adventure Pals, the game that I just showed you. I'll show you this. You can enjoy this and how cool it is. Fantasy violence and crude humor. Yep, absolutely. You have a giraffe backpack that you get to grapple with, and helicopter tongue and other abilities, and it's super cute and super much fun. It's like one of the best recent platformers that you have seen. And if you like platforming at all, and who doesn't, like at our core, all of us could at least go back to Mario and be like, this is familiar territory. Even if it's not where we choose to spend the majority of our time, we all have this is in our blood as gamers. So we have it there. Anyway, yeah, I love that game. Um, anyway, so yeah, other things about things and such not. So yeah, I have been, in trouble at work as people get sometimes. It happens to people, and I happen to be a person, and that's what happened. I purchased these. Like, well, I purchased these after the Russians purchased me this, and it turned out to be not only are these like very tongue in cheekly, like funny games, like they have a good sense of humor about themselves as adult games, and then they also have killer like vaporwave soundtracks. Like I'm talking like I purchased the soundtracks for all of these games because they're so good. Um and I really like bullet hell shooters, and these are like solid bullet hell shooters. So no apologies. You shoot the clothes off the girls, and it's really dumb and fun, and I make no apologies for it because these games are actually quality. A lot of the things you'll see in here, like, they're just terrible games. Like, there's no game to the game, which is why they work well for an auto achiever, which is why the Russians bought them for me. Anyway, oh, Disgaea. Man, I'm gonna have to play me some Disgaea and soon. Anyway, for real though. And I'm disheartened by the fact that you can't get Disgaea 4 on anything except for like vintage copies. Well, and not that vintage, but like hard copies, like non-digital copies. I mean, legally. I mean, obviously, illegally. And speaking of illegally, I spent a lot of time doing this. These are still downloading for all of my arcade ROMs. Oh, and also I found, like, I've been struggling if you've been watching my stuff. Oh, and I've been downloading all the arts for all these things, and it's nice, even though I do have a modded Dreamcast that can play all the games off of SD card. Is still nice because I spend most of my time at my computer. Um, if I'm at home, if I am like relaxed and wanting to game, it is often, so much more often the case that I'm in front of my PC than in front of any of my vintage consoles, which I totally own and love dearly, but like don't have, like, it's a pain to set them up, you know? And if you've ever seen somebody's setup who has them all set up at the same time, it's like the most confusing of mess of like power bricks and freaking just mess of cords and controllers and like cartridges and piles and boxes and like shit everywhere. Sorry. Normally I don't swear on this channel. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the thing is that like it's just so much easier, especially for capturing gameplay footage, to do it in emulation. And emulation is really good now, and so it's kind of hard. Like, okay, when I was in college, I still had some retro consoles, but I hung on to them and did most of my retro gaming on my PC because I was spending that Pell Grant money on I was sending those checks to Dell, you know. Uh yeah, dude, you're getting a Dell those days. Anyway, regardless, um so yeah, I'm very excited about all the PSP games on here cuz I have multiple modded PSPs, which I love, but like how am I going to show you the footage and talk about PSP games that are awesome? I'm going to need to be able to emulate that. And I have a lot of PSP games cuz there was a time when like people were dumping their PSP collections and gaming stores were like, ugh, nobody's buying this. Who cares? We're selling it for super cheap. And that's when I started collecting for. Wait, what? Bro, how do you only have two of my minis? I got so many of the minis and you only have two of them? Anyway, regardless, you know how RetroArch is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. And that's why I've spent considerable time putting this together and like getting all the images downloaded. And it's still doing it right now because I was like, I don't know if I've downloaded all the images for arcade because of how much time it takes. And so I'm actually doing that right now because it's so much time. But yeah, you know, Oh, but here's the stupid thing. So I realized that I had already beaten this one, so I started playing this one. Do you see the problem? Do you see the problem, everyone? I started play I had played Final Fantasy 2 and then like a moron I started playing Final Fantasy 3 because everybody knows that, because these scrape from the freaking, like, there's a bit of file that it uses to ID them uh for scraping purposes, and so things like Final Fantasy V, the English translated version, you have to download like a special file to get the freaking game, you know, and then you can run it. And then you can run it, you know? Oh man, I should turn this up. The music is just so like pacha. Hold up. There you go. Oh, look at that chocobo. Yeah. This is the one you start out with a chocobo. That's right. Start you out with it. Anyway, I'm already into the game. A little bit, you know, meteorite, whatnot. Wait, where's the tunnel through? It's over here somewhere. Anyway. Yeah. So, been playing me some of this for my mental health and my happiness. Because that has been threatened. You know, I felt like my employment was not secure. And, you know, when you feel like your employment is not secure, then you don't feel particularly happy as a result. Like, this is just not the way that it goes. I think I just have to... I have not played this before, so you're probably... This is like my kids watching me play Undertale, where they're yelling at me like, no, you don't go back. You just get on him and then you go. Then there's a cutscene and then you know about it. Wait, that's already the place I was from. Because obviously I have places to go. Oh, cutscene. Haha. Ow, Boko, bad chocobo, what the heck? You know what? I'm gonna find out the heck later. Oh no, I loaded it instead of saving it. Oh my god, the hazards, the perils of save states and forgetting your button mappings. Anyway, regardless, pacha, you know, it's the world we living in. It's how I'm living, and you know. Anyway, so poured a tremendous amount of time into this and getting it up and running and being everything that I want it to be, so that I can start doing way more retro game reviews, which I want to do because I love retro games. Like, I came up when retro was new, you know? Like, that's not a lie. Like, you know, I was born in 1979. So yeah, pre-video game crash of 1983. So yeah, I've been around for a significant portion of gaming history, and have experienced a great deal of it firsthand. So yeah, I go way back into the waybacks. So I've got things to talk about that I'd be excited to talk about, but you know, just got to do it. And I haven't done it because, you know, I was not feeling the most secure in my employment. And, like, you know, it's a not good feeling. Some of these game covers, like, you look at this, you would think that this would be, like, anything decently interesting. It's not. Oh, this is probably terrible. It's a Russian game that they bought me. I could just look at it and be like, that doesn't seem. I'll give it a chance. Oh, you know what? People love this game. I do not like it at all. I don't know what it is. Oh, this game is a hoot. Enjoy this one. I'm sorry. Anyway, regardless, the fact of the matter is that I do intend to do more game reviewing in the very near future. As a matter of fact, possibly later tonight. Oh, that's right. I have this on the PSP. Is this the PSP version, or is this some other version updated for the, you know, Because did it also come out on like the PS3 or something? Anyway, regardless, Steam gets a surprising number of PS3 games that are still awesome because the PS3 was a killer console, and we all just need to face that fact because I feel like the PS2 gets a lot of love and the PS5 gets a lot of love as well. I mean, PS4, sure. PS3's forgotten about. Like, you could buy stacks of PS3 games right now for nothing. And I have purchased large stacks of them. Why? Because, yeah, GameCube games used to be that way. Used to go to yard sales. People be like, "Do you want to buy all my GameCube stuff for like $20?" And you'd be like, "No, I have a life." What? What are you doing? Anyway, regardless, just learn the lessons of gamership and like buy when it's low and then never sell. And even though people want you to sell high, like, don't. It's not a business. Not everything has to be a business. Some things can be for your enjoyment and pleasure. And you don't have to be like making a profit, you know? Sometimes it's about enjoyment and the happiness of your life, which is what I believe in. Anyway, but yeah, speaking of the happiness of my life, it was not as much there for a bit, and it was making me sad. And that's not where you want to be in life, obviously, because But why are there so many? Oh, I guess we're to the things that start with hentai. Anyway, regardless, some Neptunia. I don't know about those. I'll have to find out at some point. Um, yeah, all of these are mine. I have so many games. Anyway, regardless, yeah, my lovely wife is at my side, looking at me, looking at my things, and being like, "That's a lot of things." It is. It's a ridiculous amount of things. But when I eliminate the things that really suck, then it'll be a normal amount of really good things. Or perhaps a large amount of really good things, which is also good. Um anyway. Yeah. Oh, that's a good game. That is a really good game. Anyway. Yeah, tried RetroArch on Steam, and then I realized, why run it through Steam when you can just run it natively in Windows? Like, just run it as its own program. Like, why is everything got to be Steam thing? Come on, Steam. Anyway, regardless. Have heard nothing but good things about this. Very excited. Love beat 'em ups. Haven't played it at all. Haven't even really watched gameplay footage of it, but have heard people say good things about it. And so own it. Yeah. There's many things that I'm excited about. Obviously Seek Girl 1 and 2. Just kidding. Shank and Shank 2 I'm actually excited about. Oh, Shatter. This is a PS3 era game and it's super much fun. This is a disappointment of a waste of a Shovel Knight license. Um, I mean, it's really not that fun. This is not a very good fighting game. This is a good fighting game, though. Skullgirls, good. Oh, Skyforce. Anyway, many good things and many like potentially crap things. Sweet and Hot. I'm sure that's a great game. Sword of Fargle. That's the game I was trying to remember earlier. Yeah, Sword of Fargle. This game is the most like it is, yeah, it's a roguelike for the Commodore 64. And you have to understand this about like how this goes. Like, I am such an Atari guy. I have never touched a Commodore 64 ever in my life. And don't intend to. Like, I don't know. It's a stupid thing, but at some point you're a Ford guy or a Chevy guy, you're an Atari guy or a Commodore guy, and I grew up with Atari. I'm sorry, that's what it is. And so yeah, this game is a super much fun dungeon crawly game where you have to go all the way through this dungeon, revealed to you a bit at a time, procedurally generated, obviously, because of, the whole roguelike thing. But you go all the way down to the bottom, retrieve a sword, and then you have to fight your way all the way back out. And the enemies get very angry with you when you retrieve it. I have retrieved the sword, but I have never made it all the way back out. Anyway, so for me to play a game of N64 origin, it's got to be good. Like, because I do not mess around with C64. Did I say N64 earlier? Commodore 64. I don't mess with their stuff at all. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I got lots of good things. Oh, Total Annihilation. Hey, RTS people, you want to see me review that? Huh? Do ya? Do you want to see me review Total Annihilation? One of the greatest RTSs ever made. And like a true test of like, are you an RTS person or aren't you? Have you played Total Annihilation? Do you recognize its supremacy? Anyway. It's true though. Like, it really is. It really, really is. Vagrant, that's a fun game, but she wears an unnecessary, not enough amount of clothes. Anyway. Waifu's Secret. The secret is it's not a good game. It's not. It's just oh, yeah. The Russians were totally into Warhammer stuff. Anyway. Doobity-doo. Fun times in my Steam library. But what's the point? Well, here's the point. Let me tell you what it is, and then you will know, and then I can stop talking, and this can stop being such a rambly, ridiculous mess of a thing, which I'm sorry that it is. Apologies that you've had to endure this if you have. And if you have, let me know. And if you're the person who got that Steam key somewhere buried in this freaking mess, let me know. Tell me. I would be curious to know whether you got it and what you think of it. Anyway. So, yeah, that's the total thing. What? Plantera Discord channel? But where's Plantera 2? Been waiting on that since forever. Anyway, regardless. Here's things. We'll just say these things and finish and be done. But yeah, for the last little bit, I've been not in the best mental health space, which makes me not feel good about, being like putting my public self out there, because, I don't want to be like, hey, I'm reviewing video games, except I feel sad inside, So I was just trying to, you gotta put your own house in order first, So yeah, that's what I was doing mostly. And also I got a lot of work done on my RetroArch, and also I lost the backup drive of all of my ROMs, and so I had to rebuild the entire ROM library for my everything. So yeah, that's kind of a pain. But I did it, and it's fine, and it's fun, and we're going to see the fruits of those labors soon. So, yeah. Anyway, peoples, Yeah, I'm in a much better place now. Things are feeling good. Feeling like, because anxiety, where does it come from? It comes from feeling like you don't have control over the circumstances within your own life. And where, how do we regain that? Well, we control what we can control. We define these things out. We figure it out. We give ourselves space. We, do what we must, and work through it. I mean, it is a fact of life. This anxiety that we get, we all get it from time to time, and like just recognize, deal with it, cope as you must, and then be back at it. And so I will be back at it soon. So very soon, possibly later tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's the thing mostly. And about all I want to say about it. I mean, gotta reserve some things and be like, yeah, have to maintain some private life. Can't all be like, I'm going to bare my everything to strangers on the internet. Yeah, can't do too much of that. Anyway, so yeah, this is the thing. And hope that any of you have gotten any information whatsoever from this. Again, let me know. And yeah, thanks for being my peoples through thick and thin, and we getting thicker all the time, and it makes me happy. So, all right, peoples, look forward to more stuff soon, and I will talk at you later. Okay, bye.